folks. We are live and we are on SportsGrid. Great to be with you on a Friday night as we have a little bit of breaking news in the NBA. It is game time decisions. Kevin Walsh, Gabriel Morency, Shams Charania of ESPN with the latest around Luka Doncic. Last night, a huge game between the Lakers and the Thunder. People wondering, could this shape the MVP race? Well, not only did Oklahoma City dominate LA, Luka leaves with a hamstring injury early in the third quarter, and Shams Charania goes on to report that Luka is now out indefinitely, and he will miss the remainder of the regular season, and his status beyond that is uncertain. It looks, Gabe, as if Luka missing round one basketball is totally now on the board here. A huge blow to a Lakers team that couldn't really afford any bad news right now.
Well, if the Los Angeles Lakers make the playoffs, they'll only be playing for one round, Kevin, without Luka Doncic. Let's call it out for what it is. You know, we've seen that they can win, and arguably the chemistry was fine without LeBron James. And look, we talked about the Detroit Pistons, right, having success without Cade Cunningham. But losing Luka Doncic, you and I talked about it last night, Kevin. We're talking about a player that basically gives you 40 points a game.
Yeah.
You're losing 35 to 40 points a game. Austin Reeves is good, but Austin Reeves isn't scaring anybody. And LeBron James is great, but LeBron James at this age, quite frankly, isn't good enough to carry them to a playoff series. Let's call it out for what it is. This will be game, set, match for the Lakers season if Luka doesn't come back.
Yeah, I think the incredible thing is, as the Lakers had this incredible month of March, it almost felt like their season was game, set, match at the end of that first quarter against Oklahoma City, where they looked outmatched, outgunned, couldn't guard it. They couldn't cross half court half the times. Like, I saw people in the third quarter were trying to pick on Bronny. Bronny looked no different than Luke and Austin Reeves trying to get past Cason Wallace and Jalen Williams.
There's been the Lakers have done this a couple of times this year, Kevin, in which they're actually having a pretty good year, right? They actually are, but the perception is always that they're terrible or the wheels are falling off or, LeBron, people acting like he didn't make the All-Star. He didn't get voted as a starter, bro. Like, okay, fine. He still scores 22 a night when he wants to and 25. Like,
yeah.
Right, there's always sort of this negativity, but this following the team, they do have a lot of ugly losses, bro. Like,
they absolutely do.
They lose. You know what I mean? Like, they don't lose a lot of heartbreakers, this team. So, like, oh, yeah, you know what? They were right there. It's like, no, you remember that night they lost by 40? Like, you know what I mean, Kevin? It's true. Yep. Like, numerous times when the wheels fall off, they don't even try to put the wheels back on. They legit tap out, like, mid-second quarter. It's not true. Our night. They're like, it's not our night type team.
Luka looked like he didn't want to be there basically 5 minutes into the game. So it's almost surprising, like, that he went back out there for a third quarter, the way the body language was. I think a lot of people right now, if the Lakers draw Houston without Luka, they would give him a chance. That's more of a Rockets thing than a Laker thing. If they play Denver, if they play Minnesota.
So it's a time machine.
Yeah. No.
KD versus LeBron.
Right.
It's KD versus LeBron. I know we got to bring this up. There's part of LeBron that's like, okay, man, this is my last time here in the Lakers. Mm-hmm. I get to shine, right?
No pressure.
It's back on LeBron now, to which, I mean, is this his last games as a Laker? I mean, it's a legitimate and fair question to ask. I don't like dumb sports debate for the hypothetical of it, but I do think that's a legitimate question to ask. If LeBron James is playing his final games with the Los Angeles Lakers, I don't think it's a stone cold lock as you and I think that he's going to be on another team next year. Mm-hmm. But I still believe that he is.
I would agree with that. I don't think it's a lock. I think the way the Lakers have played the last month, but I'll tell you this. LeBron James.
If he saves them, let's say Luka's out. Sorry, Kevin. Let's say Luka's out and LeBron balls his ass off and wins a playoff series for them. Suddenly, it's a different look, right? If LeBron fizzles out without Luka in the playoffs, I tell you what, Byron Scott, James Worthy, and every other old school Laker fan will buy his plane ticket out of town for him.
So that's what's so interesting, Gabe. I think LeBron James playing a series without Luka and doing everything he can might make him leaving even more likely because he can leave on good terms. We had a moment where it felt like LeBron was going to leave on bad terms. And you know LeBron, I know LeBron. LeBron wants his jersey retired in LA, and it's going to happen. But you want to leave on good terms. And him now, it's not his fault if they lose to Minnesota. It's Luka's fault. Just like it was AD's. He has these young superstars who aren't available in playoff series, yet the 40-year-old never misses a game in the playoffs.
You're right. If he drops 27, 28 in the playoff series and they lose, his legacy is still very strong.
Yes.
I mean, let's just be real. I mean, he's, when you're when you want to be, the greatest and you're one of the greatest, you're going to be judged differently. So LeBron's going to get judged differently, but a nightmare scenario for JJ Redick and a Los Angeles Laker team who I don't think you and I or many sort of NBA observers thought, yeah, this team's going to knock off Oklahoma City. Right? No. Yeah, this team, hell, the San Antonio Spurs would run them out of the gym in a real series, I believe. You know what I mean? Would they beat the Denver Nuggets? We go down the list. But with that being stated, you can't say they weren't live. You got Luka Doncic. You can't say you're not live.
Right. I think that's fair. They felt in the mix, but that's kind of the incredible thing where last night, while Luka was, I don't know, he was kind of grabbing at the hamstring, but also Luka does that. The second the Lakers get down 15,
well, that's
his leg
great,
hurts, his calf hurts, his knee hurts.
The little boy
all the time.
Kevin, it's a classic example. When you cry and pout every game, every time, all the time, and how about the little sequence with Austin Reeves telling the fans to shut the F up?
Yeah.
Right? And he goes, he's hurt, you jackass. And he goes, you shut the... And don't forget, Austin Reeves played Oklahoma, right? Mm-hmm. So it's almost like, it's like a homecoming for him. And he wanted to almost go in the crowd and punch someone in the face.
Yeah.
Fans are jackasses. They are. So it turned out this time Luke actually was hurt. Right? So Luke actually was. But it's hard, it's hard to... LeBron's the king of it as well. I mean, you want to call him King James. He's the king of fake injuries, Kevin. I'm not surprised he bought a piece of Liverpool because this guy's got a lot of soccer dive in him.
LeBron, Gabe, again, people won't like this. I've almost convinced myself that he lays down for about 30 seconds longer than any normal person. I'm convinced it's why he doesn't get hurt. That's now what I've told myself because it doesn't.
It's not a little slick thing. It's an extra rest, little mini timeout, you're saying.
Yes. Yeah. He always is on the floor because if you watch LeBron long enough,
he almost takes
you're
a
like,
mini
is
nap,
he? What's gone? Is the season over? Like he's not moving, and then he just is like fine. He's just completely fine. But he's been doing that for years and years and years. It's a huge blow to the Lakers.
Used to do that. Vince Carter used to do that.
Just one quick thing
with the Raptors. Every time he went down, it was like, is he done for the year? It's like, no, he's fine. But then you never know when it's real. It's like Twitter accounts, sports accounts. You got to double check. Is this real? Is this real? But go on.
Yeah, so just quickly, the other thing with Luka, he's played 64 games. The 65-game rule has been under scrutiny because it's not positively impacted any of the things the NBA thought it would, right? They're like, guys aren't playing. They're healthy. They don't want to. And then Cade Cunningham has a collapsed lung. And Anthony Edwards can't get his knee right, and Luka Doncic tears his hamstring, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander rolls his ankle, and all of a sudden, what's going to happen is Adam Silver has 10 days to decide if he wants to clip this rule before the votes are submitted.
It's still SGA. If you ask me...
But Gabe, Luka now can't make first-team All-NBA. First or second or third.
Which costs him money, right? And he's got enough money, but he actually needs it. What a year for Luka, huh? He's got marital issues, and now he's hurt.
I was wondering when those would come up. We'll get to the slate tonight next. I was wondering. Okay, Game Time Decisions. We are back here on a Friday night. Yes, I know that Shams tweeted out an update basically from Luka's agent saying we're going to try to fight the 65-game rule because Luka had to miss games due to his son or child being born in Slovenia. Again, the rule is really stupid. It accomplishes nothing. Let's just, leave it kind of
you know what,
at
though?
that.
I can't help but think of a great Tom Brady story. There was a player on the Patriots who found out he didn't make the Pro Bowl. And he thought that he had a great year. He was basically in his second year in the league type thing. Forget who the player was. Maybe it'll pop in my head. But he literally started crying. Like he was sort of like, he had like a sort of a tear. And he was sitting at the locker in his locker by himself. And Tom Brady walked by, and he goes, "Hey, what's going on?" And he goes, "Everything all right?" And basically Brady goes, "Did somebody die? Is everything all right?" And he goes, "Man, I deserve to be a Pro Bowler. This is garbage." And he started going off. And Tom Brady goes, "Hey, you think I give an F whether I make the Pro Bowl or whether I win an MVP?" He goes, "We play for one thing here, Super Bowls. That's all. That's it." And he basically said it shaped his career after that. You know what I mean? Brady told him, "Hey, we don't care about awards in this room. We care about championships." Right? And that's such an NBA culture thing where I think a lot of players, Kevin, I think a lot of players come into the NBA and, growing up as kids, everyone did it. Oh, the game 7, you hit the winning shot. I think today's kids, Kevin, grow up thinking, I want to be the MVP. I think that's a bigger, the individualness of the NBA is actually the problem. Unless I bet on it or unless I'm a player agent, I don't care who wins the NBA MVP. It's a stupid popularity contest because you don't really give it to the best player. It's really, all right, it's like music awards, Kevin. You know what I mean? Oh, you know what? Bonnie Raitt is cool now, and she's back. And you know what? Let's give her 5 Grammys. You could have given her 1. You know what I mean? But no, let's give her comeback artist, and let's give her country music, and let's give her all, radio this and that. And same thing, we sort of go in bunches. It's we'll give it to SGA again. And he'll have his little run here.
Yes,
and we'll give it to someone else after.
I just want to say,
owed it to Embiid.
Yeah, that's 100% what happened. That's absolutely what happened. Yes, but the problem, Gabe, I understand what you're saying is, again, the NBA tying contracts to all NBA
that's a problem.
Is why we're here. Again, Luka was never winning MVP.
These guys aren't doing it because of load management. They're actually getting hurt. So
that's the
difference.
Cade Cunningham is a collapsed lung.
Yeah.
You want him suiting up for 4 games, Adam? Come on. You know what I mean? Luka played 64 games.
Roll him out in a wheelchair and announce him as a starter.
Yeah.
I'm dead serious. You know what I mean? Cade Cunningham, he's in a wheelchair. He waves at everybody, and he checks out of the game after. So, you know what I mean? What do you, as I stated, at that point, all right, do you want us to put him in a damn uniform and put him on the bench? That's what I don't understand. Just do. That's what I would do. I'd say, all right, listen, you're not playing, but we're putting you in a uniform, and you're going to sit at the end of the bench, and you can eat popcorn during the game, but you'll be on the damn roster for the night.
But they have to play. So basically, Luka's going to have to go out there with his hamstring wrapped up, okay, like a rotisserie chicken. They're going to do the tip. They're going to have to foul someone and then walk off the court. Yeah, that's what we're doing. It's so stupid. It's so stupid, but that's the NBA, and that's what they do.
But they brought it upon themselves. The players brought this upon themselves, so there's a cruel irony to this, bro.
Yes, I'm not saying that is true, but the NBA didn't actually fix it. They ignored again. They play these stupid back-to-backs, and they're 3 and 4, and everyone keeps getting hurt.
That's my real problem with the NBA. I don't understand, for the love of God, why they schedule so many back-to-backs, Kevin.
It's insane.
Why? Why do you do this? I don't people complain, load management. It's well, let's look at the league and why? You and I do this every night. Do it again tonight. Charlotte just played last night.
All right.
We just went through this. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They're the same teams play all the time, and then people get mad after, and then don't tell me, hockey does it. Hockey players play shifts, guys. It's different. I played hockey, and I'm a little tired of the, you know what I mean? It's basically, let's cut through the crap. The white guys do it, right? But the brothers take it off, type thing. You're an NBA player, bro. You're on the court, for a long time. You're the focal point of the game. right? When you're Kevin Durant, you're a focal point of the game. Kevin, when you play hockey, you're on the ice for 30, 45 seconds, bro.
Yeah.
Like your shift is literally 30 to 45 seconds. Like a defenseman might stay on the ice for a minute or so, right? Like literally and figuratively. So yeah, it's physical and all this, but it's a lot of on, off. And also hockey players aren't 7'4" with like weird tendons in their knees and stuff like that. And they're not built like giraffes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just to give people, Luka Doncic right now has played the 27th most minutes in the NBA. But according to the rules, he's not eligible to make all NBA because he hasn't played enough. You know how stupid that is? He's played the 27th most minutes, and he's not eligible because he hasn't played enough. What do we do? So, again, it's just... It's so dumb.
Let me ask you.
So
it sounds
dumb.
like someone that has. Sounds like someone to me has a big bet on Luka Doncic to win MVP or something.
No, you know what it is? Can I tell you? It is. I am, Gabe, because you kind of got at it a little bit, though, is so much of this stuff, everybody kind of blames the players, and then the NBA steps in, and they're like, you know what? We'll also blame the players and then fix nothing. And you know what we get left with? Here's your NBA slate tonight. 15 and a half, 16 and a half, 14 and a half, 18 and a half, 13 and a half, and 18 and a half.
9 games. 9 games tonight in the NBA. 6 of them double-digit point spreads. And we're not like reaching, oh yeah, it's 10 and a half. No, we have college football point spreads on a nightly basis in the NBA.
Alabama, Vanderbilt, all over the board.
17 and a half, 16 and a half, 15 and a half, like tonight. Literally, like 6 of the 9 games. 6 of the 9 games. Like, it's literally like, what am I going to do with this? They're 18-point favorites.
Michigan, Rutgers, all over the card. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And again, like, yes, you're like, here's the crazy thing. The Rockets opened 16 and a half. I went, that looks a little light. I actually might bet Houston. It's up to 18 and a half now.
Yeah,
you know what? I'm not doing that.
I lost last night. Phoenix Suns looked good early, Kevin. They fell apart.
I wasn't going to bring it up. Wasn't going to bring it up.
I'll bring it up. We lost. Pacers have been covering point spreads. I'm feeling dangerous tonight. Pacers.
Bring Craig Mish in next. Live on Sports Grid, it's Game Time Decisions. Kevin Walsh, Gabriel Morency. We're now joined by Craig Mish, host of Newswire, right here on Sports Grid, along with Pro Baseball Today, covering all things Major League Baseball for us, including an eye on the Miami Marlins. And Craig, I almost wonder if for Miami it was a sacrifice to start this series, because tomorrow's the big one, the Ryan Weathers revenge game with the Yankees and the Marlins. Did anything stand out to you?
Kevin.
You know, without it, nothing else going on Saturday. Craig, did anything else stand out to you just watching? I know it's 1 of 162, but Yanks win the game 8-2. Judge homered in the first inning.
Yeah, it was sort of quick and painless for me, you know, like it was it was very evident early on that once the Yankees went up 4-1, it was going to be tough for the Marlins to come back. But, you know, I think one of my broader takeaways is I thought that really good adjustments from Ben Rice on the Yankees, who looked just brutal in his first at-bat or first couple at-bats, and then all of a sudden just responded with a home run and a double. And, you know, Rice hit 26 home runs last season, and if you think about it, from the left and the right, having him lefty, Judge righty, Bellinger lefty, you know, going back and forth through those three, that's just a huge component to their offense. And naturally, the Yankees did pitch well again today, and their bullpen did pitch well again today. So, you know, the game got away really late, but I really didn't feel like, you know, it was one of those games where I was watching. I felt like very early on, it looked like the Yankees were going to win.
And they sold out their ice cream buckets immediately. The ice cream,
the little chicken bones.
Yeah, the deep fried chicken bone ice cream in the bucket. But you'd be very disappointed, Craig, as a baseball guy. Kevin opened up the show like it was a big deal that Luka Doncic was out. Like it was big breaking news. And he overlooked the fact that Patrick Corbin signed. That's what I opened.
That's the big signing. The big signing of the day.
All kidding aside, Patrick Corbin just signed basically in the last hour type of deal with the
I saw that, yeah.
Craig, but Trevor Bauer in the news. So he's evidently like, I didn't think he was ever going to be allowed back in the game, but what's your take on that? Like, look, dude, we're a week into the regular season, Craig, and teams are already reaching out. We need arms, but anyone's arm but your arm, Trevor Bauer. What's your take on that?
Yeah. I mean, for the Blue Jays, Gabe, you know, look, I mean, they've lost so many pitchers here at the start of the season. So, like, I mean, it does make sense to me. I mean, not having E. Savage and Bieber to start the year, and I know that there was some good news on E. Savage today. Yeah, they got to have somebody who could throw 5 innings, and Corbin is going to throw 5 innings, and every other game it'll be 5 innings and 3 earned runs, you know, like, and that's, you know, sort of what they're going to look for, and then turn it over to the bullpen. As far as Bauer, you know, trying to explain this to my son is tough. He's 13 years old. We talked about it yesterday for a really, really long time. So I think that from my perspective on this, it was surprising 2-3 years ago that Bauer just literally was not going to get a deal from anyone. I thought even in talking to people in the game that he was going to get another shot, and he did not. But I will keep it real at this point, Gabe. When you sign with the Long Island Ducks, it's close to the end of the road. I mean, it's not a talent issue at that point. The guys who play and pitch for that independent league team and that independent league teams in that area are at the end of their careers, and generally speaking are not getting a major league deal. And full transparency, I think Bauer, if you asked him, would tell you he did not pitch well at all in a league where he was supposed to dominate last year too. So end of the line for me, Gabe, with him. I don't think that at this stage that he deserves to get a call to pitch for a major league team. 2-3 years ago, without a doubt, he was still dominating. It was a strange situation.
I'll just quickly throw it out there, and I'll throw it back to you, Kevin. We know with Bauer, we've seen worse PR things, team sign guys, Craig. You know what I'm saying, in sports?
Mm-hmm.
So I almost get a feeling like people have always asked me about it. You know, oh, is he blackballed? He was innocent. You know, the courts were on his side, etc. I said, I think it's just more that he's just a jerk and a horrible teammate. Like,
I think you're right.
He's not welcome in clubhouses. You know what I mean?
I think
Craig?
you're right.
Guys don't want him in the room.
I mean, the first thing he did after he posted his video about signing with Long Island, at the end, he's like, and I'm very excited. We're going to have all new kinds of content. You know, it wasn't about anything else. And I think, Gabe, you're right. I think guys in the clubhouse are like, if we bring this guy in, I better make sure my pants are on. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's like that kind of stuff. There's a lot of extra stuff with him. Talent does outshine a lot of that stuff generally, but he's not now at the point where that is the case.
And
but
he was
in
like
terms
a magician, guys. He was, remember, Craig and Kevin, he was the guy did basically like the magician who gave away the trick, Craig. Oh, yeah, I used surfboard wax and I put glue on the ball or whatever I could do.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, what are you doing the interview for telling people what we do? Like, you understand, Kevin? Like, why are you so disliked?
No, it's not surprising. I think, Gabe, I know you followed closely with the Dodgers, and obviously, Craig, you're so within it. I just kind of, when the whole thing played out, it's like, yeah, he's done, right? And you kind of just moved off from it there. I think we're about to hit a break, Chris. All right, a break, and we're out of here. Craig, great as always. A lot happening, baby. That's Oh, it is a Friday, isn't it? We're here on Game Time Decisions. We got a couple of things to get to. They bolted.
If the Nationals would have won today, he'd be in my ear right now. Oh, the Nationals own the Dodgers. How about those Nats? Dodgers kicked their ass. He's nowhere to be found, Walsh. He's AWOL today.
Yeah, he's gonna if the Nats can grab one of the games, he's gonna be like, let's do a live reaction on Saturday or something like that. He'll be lively. Gabe, I want to get to this women's Final Four though. You and I both follow the women's game. Within reason during the regular season, the tournament. Everybody knows it ramps up. You get lines for every single tournament game. You don't get lines for every single regular season game, so it's different here. And South Carolina,
well, you do if you know the right people.
That's a good point. No, that's fair, right? There's someone somewhere is always making a
Trust
number.
Me, yes. I got lines for everything, but yeah, I get it.
UConn, South Carolina is really interesting. The more you look into this game, I am trying to find a way to successfully give UConn all the credit in the world while saying that they have not played a great strength of schedule. And because I think both of those things are true. If South Carolina has played Texas 3 times, LSU, Vanderbilt multiple times there, right? They've played these 1 seeds, these 2 seeds. UConn hasn't played a 3 or higher since December. The Big East put 2 teams in the tournament, and UConn was one of them, and the other was Villanova, who was a 10 seed. The Huskies played a 6 seed in the Elite 8 instead of playing a 2 or a 3. Again, that Notre Dame team is good with a really superstar player in Hannah Hidalgo. I think this number is a product of what UConn has done to teams that are so much worse than South Carolina. I played the dog here, Gabe. I think Dawn Staley's being a little bit disrespected on this number.
I agree with a lot of what you just said here. And listen, it's impossible to disparage a UConn women's basketball team, Kevin, that have won 54 games in a row. Okay? Like literally, like going back to last year. Yet this, and it sounds crazy to say because Fudd is amazing, but Strong, is the star of the team. There's the two of them. But it sounds crazy to say, Kevin, they're kind of a two-woman team in a way, right? Like South Carolina come at them with a lot of different looks because South Carolina have the size. South Carolina have a couple of girls that are like that should be in the Olympics as track stars. Like they play fast.
Yeah.
Like fast. They get to the rack and you're like, what the hell just happened? This girl, like, you're like, who, what the, like, it's like Ben Johnson just took off past you. And they play, you know what I mean? They play at a high tempo. They play like sort of a chaotic in-your-face style of basketball. And Kevin raised a great point. UConn didn't really play anybody this year, right? As far as like seeds are concerned, they played Michigan, who are a good team, but not on the level of Texas in these teams in South Carolina. And Michigan only lost by 3 at UConn this year, guys. They played Iowa, who were really good, and they smoked Iowa by 26. But, Kevin, UConn didn't cover in either of the tournament games, right? And not to hold anything against them, but South Carolina have a chip on their shoulder. They got blown out last year in a championship game. And Fudd is amazing, but she's not Paige Beckers. It's a different team, right?
Yeah.
You can turn this team over. You can turn the ball over a little bit. They don't really have that, all right, give it to Paige and calm everything down type of player. It's a different team. They're awesome. But Kevin raised a great point as far as strength of schedule is concerned. I'm going to roll it as well, Kevin. Yeah. I'm going to roll it as well. South Carolina's athleticism, I think, is going to cause UConn problems. And we're either really right about this, Kevin, or really wrong, kind of like with Laker games.
Sure.
Right? South Carolina probably wins this game outright, guys, or they lose by 13.
Yeah.
And I'm saying take the points, but UConn could roll them, right? They smoked them last year, but like I said, like Paige Beckers is that good. It's a little bit different of a team now, even though Strong and Fudd's numbers are great. I'm going to roll the dice with the Gamecocks plus the points. And for the record, I want to get the number up, Kevin, but evidently Dawn Staley's wearing like a Louis Vuitton outfit tonight that she's like 5-1 or 6-0 in or something.
I like that.
Throwing it out there. Yeah,
I like that. Like,
she's busting out something that her big game outfit is coming out tonight. So she's going to be bringing it.
I want to throw a prop at you, Gabe, in this game.
Yeah.
Because it's something that I feel we were doing a lot in the play-in, right, of the men's tournament where you're getting kind of some unknowns, different variables here. Here's one thing that you look at Sarah Strong's season-long numbers. 18.5 points a game, 7.5 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks, and you're like, unbelievable. Here's the big number, though. 27 minutes a game. Because they murder everyone. Sarah Strong has played 5 games where she's played 35 or more minutes. Opener against Louisville, 10 rebounds. She played all 40 against your Michigan Wolverines. 20 rebounds. Tennessee, 37 minutes, 9 rebounds. And the last 2 tournament games, she grabbed 10 boards and 7 boards. I found an 7.5 rebound prop for Strong at minus 121. I played some balls on this. Gabe, she's playing 35. She's playing 35 minutes tonight. Even if they win the game by 15, it's South Carolina. You show respect. It's the Final Four. I think Sarah Strong's live for 12, 15 rebounds in a game like this.
I really like where you're going with that, especially as Kevin noted, especially when you have a player on a team that murders people by like UConn does for the most part, right? They're not even going to reach their full potential. I looked at this game and I like some props in the next game, and I like the next game better. We'll rattle it off, but
yeah,
Kevin, you look at what makes South Carolina so dangerous. You look at their player prop numbers. Olcott, 10.5. Lotson, 11.5. Johnson, 11.5. Raven Johnson, 8.5.
Yep.
And then their score per se, Joyce Edwards, 15.5. Dude, you're talking about like 4 players with double-digit props. Sort of gives you a nature of feel of like South Carolina are, I don't know if they're deeper because we're talking about the Yukon freaking Huskies here, right? Like they got blue chips, right? So, but they really do rely only on Fudd and Strong, Kevin. And a lot of the other players kind of stand around and watch them at times and become spectators of these two. Becker's did a better job of getting everybody else involved, I find. South Carolina are more of a team. Like, then they're going to come at you in waves. They're deeper. I think they got some fouls to give. I think they're going to hang. But I'll tell you what, Kevin, watching these games, my eyeball tells me that Texas are the best team. Like, so I don't know. Like I'm saying, I don't know if they're going to beat UConn, and God knows that UCLA are good, Kevin. UCLA have won 32 games in a row, bro, since they lost to Texas. They haven't lost. They played in the fourth game of the year, these teams. It was the fourth game for UCLA, or the fifth game, whatever, and it was the sixth game for Texas. Long story short, UCLA hasn't lost since that game. And they got Lauren Betts, who's unbelievable. But Texas has Madison Booker, and they also have a bunch of, like, really tall, like, female Kevin Durant's flying around, bro. Like, dude, they've outscored their opponents. And it's funny because he actually sponsors a girl on the team, an NIL deal for a shoe. But Texas have outscored their opponents by 142 points. Michigan
it's no joke.
Were good, guys. Michigan went to UConn this year and lost 72-69. Texas just beat Michigan by like 44 or whatever. Like, Texas are legally good, guys.
So just to back what you just said, to give people an idea, Texas in the tournament is winning by 35.5 points per game. UCLA is at 27. UConn's only 32.5. South Carolina's at 40. They also beat the 16 seed by like 70, so that kind of really, threw things off a little bit. But I agree with Gabe. I thought I was going to bet UCLA. I look more to this game. Texas is horrifying. They played South Carolina in the SEC title game and beat them by double digits. That's not an easy thing to do.
I wanted to do the revenge, Lauren Betts, UCLA, and I just couldn't get there. And I realized,
I backed away as well.
Team. Why would you bet UCLA? Texas.
We'll roll through the props. We've got baseball, NBA, hockey, all here on SportsGrid.
All right, we're back. 2 minutes left. 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 2 minutes left.
All right, let's jump over to the baseball here on a Friday night quickly. I will say it's my own fault. I'd love a split. It probably won't work out. I played a couple of 4 o'clock totals. I took the Phillies-Rockies game under 10.5. It was 7-0 at the end of the top of the first. This thing's probably going to land 11. It is what it is. I'm not saying I deserve to win. Then I took it under 8.5 in Pirates-Orioles. It's sitting 8. You imagine someone sneaks a run in. I'll lose both of these by the hook. The baseball, the strikeout props, I feel like I've been finding a good rhythm with. I have not bet a baseball money line yet, and I have not done well with the totals. It's early season. It's going to happen. I actually, though, Gabe, I did something I think you might like. It's a little different, but I feel like it's up your alley. I took the Mariners money line and paired it with Jalen Johnson for a double-double. Little plus 144 special here on the Mariners and Jalen Johnson.
I like your style. That's ultimate DGen special crossover parlay right there. And like you, too, looking at the baseball card tonight, there's a lot of day games today. The baseball schedule really hasn't gotten into a rhythm and routine yet, right? For a sport that supposedly has 15 games a day every day, there never really is. Or they're early and they're late. So we'll finally sort of get into a rhythm, starting next week, and they'll start playing every day everywhere. But as far as the strikeout props are concerned tonight, Nolan McLean catches my eye, Kevin. 8 strikeouts in his season debut against the Pittsburgh Pirates. This is, what's interesting about this? McLean, guys, he constantly is like Die Hard and Bruce Willis McLean. Like, he's constantly got to clean up other people's messes. He's had 9 starts in his career only. This is only his 10th start of his career. In 6 of his 9 starts, the Mets are coming off a loss, Kevin. Like, this guy's always like, you know what I mean? All right, McLean, like, can you stop the bleeding for us? He's 4-1 in the 5 starts, for the record. In these spots, 8 strikeouts in his first game, as I stated. And so you got San Francisco tonight, who they're sort of middle of the pack. They're ranked 15th in strikeout rate in baseball right now. One thing with San Francisco, I'm not in love with, Kevin, with picking on them, is they have, number one, like Luis Suarez never strikes out. So it's sort of like, you got one dude, and the Korean dude never strikes out either. So you got these 2 dudes that are like, man, they're not going to strike out. So you kind of have to bake that into the number with San Francisco. They literally have 2 dudes that do not strike out. In the modern era, it's kind of a rarity. Everybody strikes out, but everybody else on the team strikes out. 5.5 for McLean tonight, Kevin. That's just too late.
I don't mind that look at all. He was someone I had considered. I got too scared. I wanted to bet the cease under 7.5. He was so good in his first start, I couldn't get there. He did finish with only 6 against Chicago. I don't mind the McLean look whatsoever. I'll say this, and I don't want to stay on it too long, but I just have to say, again, maybe it's because I'm too local. It feels like the Mets need this game tonight. It feels like a loss here, a 4th in a row. It's going to be a little, pretty early.
Feels like a Mets spot. Feels like a Mets spot, just like it felt like a San Francisco spot last night.
Right.
It did to me. Although it also felt like an under spot, didn't it? How'd that work out?
Yeah,
right?
boom, boom, boom. Right.
Yeah, boom, boom, boom. There was, the game went over after the first couple innings, but it kind of does feel like a Mets spot. And like I said, McLean's been in this situation a lot where he's coming in sort of a negative situation where the team's like not doing well, and he comes in like Superman and to save the day a lot. And sort of like last night, Kevin, San Francisco needed that last night, right? They got swept at home by the Yankees, and not only did they get swept, but they only scored 1 run in the series. They got outscored 13-1. They go on the road, they get a couple of wins in San Diego. And now it cost San Diego problems, Kevin, right? Now that San Diego frustrated there, they go back home, and it's like, all right, you got to win. I don't know if you saw the video. It was gold of the kid, the guy that made his debut, and his family was there, and he's shaking the kid, and the kid's crying and stuff. It's one of the funniest videos ever. But it's on John Boy Media. Does a great job with the baseball clips. But, it's really, really funny. But, it is. It feels like a must-win for the Mets tonight. I actually do like the Mets tonight, Kevin. But, I said this last week. I tell people to chill out all the time. Like, dude, a couple of days ago, people want to send this guy back to Tennessee. Go back to the NCAAs. You don't know what you're doing. right? They win a couple of games. Everything's fine in the Bay right now. They win again tonight, and they're back to 500, so it's a big game for them. But, yeah, must win for the Mets. It's hard to fully trust the Mets, though, Kevin. They're hitting 107 with runners in scoring position over their last 6 games. So that's why I landed on McLean over 5.5. So I'll take the Mets out of the equation.
Yeah, don't mind it at all. NBA-wise tonight, I'm taking a stab on an under here in Sixers-Wolves at 235.5. I think it's a little inflated because Philly scored $150 on the Wizards. Those are not real basketball games. The Wizards are not a real basketball team. Anthony Edwards is back. I'm not sure that matters. Like, it matters, but I don't know if the total needs to be this high just because Anthony Edwards is back, right? Like, Minnesota are still on the second leg of a back-to-back. They got a gutty cover last night on a 5.5. So I played an under at 235.5. One thing, Gabe, I wanted to throw at you, and I don't know if it's like jumping on the ship a little bit too late. Scotty Barnes has 10 assists in every single game. He's had it in 6 straight now. They're giving you still plus money for him to get 10 tonight against Memphis.
The only question with this game is the point spread, and does it turn into such a blowout?
Right.
Does it turn into such a blowout that you just sort of get stuck right at like 8 or 9, and you're like, oh, God, the Raptors are up by 22, right? And we're gonna Scotty a little bit. That's my concern there. Here's a player, and I don't know how often. I've given him a few times on this show. Sadiq Bey. Sadiq Bey tonight. Kevin, he's gone over 2.5 3-point shots made in 8 straight games.
Wow.
8 straight games. It's plus 140. Like, what am I missing? Like, why is it plus money? It's 8 straight. I guess no one's betting it, and they just don't care. Like, they don't notice, and they don't care, right? They set their number, and they're not getting hit enough to move it. But I'm throwing it out there, and it'll be one of our picks tonight, guys. Sadiq Bey, over 2.5 3-point shots made. He's hit 3 or more in 8 consecutive games.
Sadiq Bey, in his last 8 games, is shooting 58% from 3. 58% from 3.
And they're playing the Kings tonight. They're playing the Kings.
We'll get you all the picks on the other side.
Discussion in March was, oh, this ABS is ruining everything. And there's challenges in the second inning and the third inning. And yes, for CB Buckner, that has been the case. But for every other umpire in Major League Baseball, what you're seeing, Donnie, is exactly what you said. This is going to normalize. We did see a lot of success in the first couple of days of the season.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
I think there's an opportunity down the board. I think Pete Alonso likely has some new life. And what about your boy Schwarber here? We know
Come on.
up at the top, he's going to have enough at-bats and enough pitches to do it. Sounds like he's got 40 to 50 home runs. I don't even think working really hard this year.
Prediction Markets Edge, only on SportsGrid.
So much to get into.
So much to get into, so little time. Listen, this is a time of year where it's great basketball. Teams that have to be at their best, some teams at their best for 40 minutes, some teams at their best for 36 minutes. But at the end of the day, you got to play your best 40. Otherwise, you're going home like we saw over the last couple of days.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Urging them to stop offering these certain sports-related contracts it believes are especially ripe for manipulation. These are markets like what is someone on the broadcast going to say during the game, which you can bet on. It's called mention markets, which could be anything like Tom Brady saying, oh, I think that they're going to run an RPO.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, we have a lot of business to handle and not a
Fun
ton
show.
of time to do it. What I will do, though, because you got to, respect the wishes of the house, my dad wanted me to pass along a number of messages. One, Happy Easter, which is very nice, right?
Yeah.
I
Good
know
Friday,
it's
Happy
Passover
Easter.
out there as well, so we wish everyone the best. He also, though, said, Flyers need the game tonight. I'll take the Flyers and give me the over. Here's the only disclaimer, though. Dad is a Flyer fan, so might not be the most unbiased pick, Gabe.
Must-win game for the Philadelphia Flyers tonight.
Yeah.
Against the Islanders. What a toss-up. You know what? I don't want to wuss out and give it a pick. I'm going to join the Walsh clan on this one. Flyers get it done on the road
You
tonight.
just made his night. You just made his night. That is
Rick
absolutely.
Tocchet, Company, let's go. Get
Yeah.
it done. See if Gritty can do it. I'll tell you what, speaking of Gritty, Flyers have been incredibly gritty. Not many. We were just talking about teams, Kevin, like Portland Trailblazers, not supposed to be a playoff team.
Yeah.
No one in the hockey world thought the Philadelphia Flyers were going to be a playoff team. Nobody. And here they are on the verge of it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, what else do we want to get to? I did want to mention, actually, this weekend. I know I'll be live tomorrow morning with the college basketball today, of course, with Coach, but and I know, guys, of course, at Sports Rage, Gabe will have picks and everything that you need. But I just wanted to quickly, Gabe, kind of tomorrow, Final Four, Michigan and Arizona, Illinois and UConn. Anything you want to kind of let the people know with those matchups?
Michigan wins. Game goes over the number. UConn, Illinois goes over the 139.5. Both games go over. I've got Illinois, but I can't lie to you. To me, UConn and Illinois is a complete toss-up that could go either way.
Yeah.
Right? If Illinois get shots, they're really hard to beat. UConn are tougher in the paint, and they're going to try to, grind it out. But if these Eastern European dudes start drilling threes and Wagler starts getting going, like they're as good as Michigan and Arizona are. Like they're good. I'm going to stick to my guns. Illinois, I'll have picks all day long tomorrow. I'm going to hop on during the Michigan game tomorrow night. But speaking of which, Kevin, this pains me to do this because I know tonight that every son of a bitch that goes to this football game tonight in Columbus, Ohio, to watch the Columbus Aviators franchise debut tonight, history being made, are Ohio State Buckeye fans. So it pains me to be on the same side. I actually don't like the Columbus Blue Jackets because of that. That's how serious I am, Kevin.
All right,
I'm like,
no joke.
The Blue Jackets. Same with the Browns. I laugh at them. I'm like, dudes, I don't feel sorry for them. They're all Ohio State fans. See, Bengal fans like the Bearcats. See, I don't have a beef with the Bengals. See, that's how I think. That's that. But all kidding aside, give me the Columbus Aviators tonight. +3. The game's on national TV at 8 o'clock. So is Combat Sports Report with me tonight, too, on this network. But give me the Columbus Aviators +3. Give me the South Carolina Gamecocks +6. Texas Longhorns win the basketball game. Longhorns Bruins over to 134. Nolan McLean, 5.5 strikeouts. And Sadiq Bey, over 2.5 3-point shots made.
Man, I love the little football action there. I know you like Texas tonight. That is a tricky game, man. I really believe it. The one thing I will say I did, just because of my belief in that Sarah Strong prop, I kind of took her for 8 rebounds, and I paired it with, Kiki Rice for 10 points. I paired it with Madison Booker for 15, kind of used her in different parlays type of situation.
On Madison Booker later. I'm going to post that online after.
Yeah, absolutely. So I do like South Carolina. I like the over in that game as well. I think that total's a little bit light. There was a 135.5, 136.5. I think that game goes over the number. Little, as Gabe would call it, D-Gen special. Jalen Johnson, double-double. Mariners money line, little cross sport, gets you +144. Like the under in the Sixers and the Wolves game. And now, Knucklehead Central back here. All of a sudden, they apparently have a camera working for themselves. Chris goes to Juan Soto for multiple hit-run RBI. Look how excited they are. You're now satelliting in a Mavericks +6.5. And AJ rolling late-night D-backs on the money line at home against the Braves.
I'm going to throw it out there that Ronald Acuna Jr. homers for the first time this year tonight in that game.
There we go. We are starting to see some of the big names come around. Ohtani hitting that home run, I'm not saying I didn't see it coming, But the Judge home run is the most predictable home run of the year. I can't believe I wasn't on it. I can't
season home
believe.
opener. Yeah, come on.
It's the first
And,
pitch he saw.
You threw it out there earlier. I think it continues for Ohtani. I wouldn't be surprised if he hits like 1 or 2 tomorrow now again.
Yeah.
Like he's going to get on a run now.
Good luck tonight. Good luck tomorrow. We'll see everybody Monday.
Italy can't make the World Cup. That's wildly embarrassing.
You know, Italy, to me, I think they're like the Cowboys, right? They're the Dallas Cowboys, basically. They're this ultimate sort of public team, big merch, like, monsters.
That's a good one.
Yet they really haven't won in a while. But we're talking about a world superpower.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
As a former pitcher who thought the umpires were wrong far more than people let on, I like the ABS system. But you're going to have problems because umpires are going to start having issue with the fact that they're being called out. Well, here's the thing. Umpires are now going to be treated like players. They're going to get publicly embarrassed when they make mistakes in front of the fans.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
There's a basketball player who's 7'9". He's insignificant on his team. And quite frankly, I don't know if he goes Division 1, 2, or 3 at this point and will be significant. Joe, how can you be 7'9" and not be able to get on the court in college basketball? Shouldn't he be maybe, I don't know, the most dominant shot blocker in the history? I watched Manu Bol be a really good player at times in the NBA.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
We're proud of this class. This is the weakest Hall of Fame class in the history of the Basketball Hall of Fame. This is an embarrassment to the men and women that are deservingly in that Hall of Fame. And the dead ones are rolling over in their grave right now saying, get this basketball out of my gravesite because I don't want to be associated.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid. Only on SportsGrid.
Prediction Markets Edge on the Early Line. Joe, let's keep the power on